Hey everybody, Eric Schweitzer here at San Diego Comic-Con for the Gamer, joined today by Magic the Gathering's Mark Rosewater. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm so excited. We're here to talk about Bloomburrow.
Yes, a very exciting set. So this is one of the things we love to do in Magic is sort of push the pendulum around, try a lot of different things. And the idea of doing a cute animal set, you know, anthropomorphic animals are a really fun genre.
Yeah.
And so we've been talking about doing this for years, and I'm so glad we finally did it. And, you know, if you love playing squirrels and mice and rabbits and
who doesn't?
Rats, you know, here's your chance.
Talk to me about the fan reaction to this set, especially compared to maybe some recent sets like Karlov and Thunder Junction. How have people responded to this one?
Oh, this has been through the roof.
Yeah.
People are really excited. When we first came up with it, the idea was, would people sort of like go all in on it, right? It's a very exacting sort of genre that we're playing with, right? It's animals, but people have just adored it. Ever since we first announced it, they've been excited for it. We showed previews, they were even more excited, and when we started showing the actual cards, through the roof. So, yeah, we're really excited.
Yeah, I find like stuff with like Universes Beyond, the excitement for those sets extends beyond the Magic players. It sort of hits a critical mass.
Yeah.
And it feels like Bloomburrow's like that. It's like reaching people that maybe aren't even familiar with Magic, and I think there's like an element of nostalgia there. You know, in the past you've talked about in the early design process, brainstorming the influences and those like resonant points when building the world. Can you talk about what those were for Bloomburrow?
Sure. So very early on we decided, normally when we do drafting, there's 10 archetypes. The two colors combined in 10 different ways. So we said, okay, we're going to just pick 10 animals, and our 10 draft archetypes will be 10 animals. And then what we did is we said, what makes sense? Like, for example, we said, green-white usually is a go wide. You want to make a lot of tokens and go wide. Well, is there an animal known for making lots of itself? Yes, rabbits. That's what rabbits are known for. So green-white became the rabbit thing. You know, blue-white's a little more evasion. We wanted flying. What's known for flying? Oh, birds. Birds are known for flying. So we really looked carefully at each one, and we sort of made the archetypes match the flavor of the animals.
Right.
And one of the things we always look for is we want a lot of resonance, right? We want to make Magic sets that tap into things that players already love. Mm-hmm. And so this was a lot of fun. I mean, animals, people have great affinity for animals. There's lots of fun storytelling with animals. And so we kind of knew what we were doing from minute one was, let's make this the most animal set we can.
Can you talk about the decision not to lean into factions and make this a faction set?
Well, I mean, it has faction component to it. The one thing we decided was we're doing what we call a typal set, right? It's about creature types.
Yeah.
And if you look at Magic's past, at one end is like Lorwyn, which is like all in, like a little bit on what we call on rails. Like you pick a creature type and that's what you're drafting. And then the other end is something like Innistrad, where, hey, monsters mattered, but it was like a later touch. And so a lot of the set was, how heavy do we make the typal component? Mm-hmm. Do we go all the way to Lorwyn, or is it more like Innistrad? Mm-hmm. And after a lot of experimentation, we ended up a little more like Innistrad. Mm-hmm. The idea being, if you draft all frogs, your deck will play great. Frogs have a theme and a flavor, but there's a little less things that call out frogs by name. There's some, but it's a lot lighter than something like Lorwyn or, you know, Onslaught if you go way back. Mm-hmm.
Now, the next set, Duskmourn hit, is such a tonal shift from Bloomburrow. Was that intentional, or was that just a scheduling thing that happened?
No, that's intentional. One of the things we like to do is, one of the strengths of Magic is it really can show off all sorts of different things, right? It really can be lots of different things, and that it can be Bloomburrow, or it can be Duskmourn. And so one of the things we talk about pushing the pendulum, that we want to keep changing Magic, and that, hey, if Bloomburrow isn't your thing, well, then maybe Duskmourn is. And so this is a little more stark than most, but we like pushing around and doing different things. And then if you look at this year, like we did Murder Mysteries, then we did Westerns, now we're doing Animals, then we're doing 70s and 80s horror. So we really like to give you lots of different possibilities. And then you, the player, hey, pick what you like to make Magic a set that you want it to be.
I want to ask you about another thing that people really love, food.
Okay.
You've talked before about wanting food to do more. Can you talk about the food in Bloomburrow?
Well, and then one of the things we realized is when you start talking animals, food was a natural component of that. Yeah. Like one of the archetypes, squirrels, which is the black-green archetype, in fact has a mechanic called forage that allows you to use food as part of your foraging. So we know we wanted food. The trouble with food, or the challenge with food, is that gaining life can slow down the game if you're not careful. So whenever we put food as a theme, we want to give you other things to do with food, like the forage mechanic, so that it's not just gaining life, that you have other things you can do. So what we've learned is food is fun, it's flavorful, we like it, and it's generally useful, but when you design toward it, you just have to think about the larger game, and we want to make sure that the games end. Like one of the big things about game design is make the game end. That's important. And so we can do food, we just be careful how we do it.
Cool. Okay. Last question. Preston the Rabbit from Jumpstart 2022. Is he from Bloomburrow?
Story is not my expertise. I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I do know there's rabbits here, and there's some legendary rabbits in the set. So, if you want to play rabbits, if you want a commander that's a rabbit, we are giving you more. I mean, there's obviously been some, but there's now more. So, have fun with rabbits. Rabbit is my favorite draft archetype.
Okay.
I love going rabbits, going wide, and it's pretty good. So, if you like playing rabbits, we got the play green white.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Mark. When can people get their hands on Bloomburrow?
Well, the pre-release is this weekend, and then next weekend it's on sale. So you guys all can go out and pick your favorite animal and start playing.
All right. Awesome. That's it for this interview. Thank you so much, and stay tuned to The Gamer for more San Diego Comic-Con.